In your eyes, the sparks look like thousands of bright stars. I have gazed at for thousands of time. May all its sweetness take flight. With the truth to be your guiding light. Let your curiosity set your spirit free and well like fire. If a lonely night surprised to see our dreams glowing brightly, every second is worth it. You build a life on miracles, someone in the precious. The stream of shimmering daily moments read their way to my soul and stop me from drifting. It might be the solid ground to stand, so let's sing together. Every light I'm giving all goes back to you, goes back to you.
Halo semuanya, kembali lagi dan kecil di sini. Udah hiatus berapa lama nih? Sampai ulang tahun aku batal. Ulang tahun, kala nemenin ayah di operasi. 1 minggu lebih nginep di rumah sakit. Akhirnya bisa live lagi. Halo Oscar, halo Zaki, welcome. Rencana aku buat special ulang tahun batal semua. Gara-gara ini, ini nggak ada yang masuk. Oh, ada yang masuk. Aduh. Oh, masuk. Telat. Wow, udah lama ini kayaknya aku mau les. Agak lama. Dan sebenarnya aku masih pusing. Baru aja pulang tadi sore jam 5. Ayah masih dirawat sih, dirawat jalan karena baru aja operasi, jadi nggak bisa apa-apain. Kalau untuk rencana-rencana yang lain nggak tahu gimana. Halo Siun, ulang tahunnya masih kemarin batal, tapi itu ada yang PS1 retro. Itu bakal aku kerjain minggu ini. Minggu depan berarti. Lain nggak ada apa-apa. Alhamdulillah aku sehat. Kemarin agak sakit dikit. 1 minggu nginep di rumah sakit. Gak nyaman. Ya sebenarnya nyaman sih, cuman yang gak enak aja kan, di rumah sendiri. Gak bisa buka PC, buka HP doang bentar-bentar. Main game juga cuman daily login doang. Daily login aja banyak yang dilewat. Dan ini banyak banget kan game-game versi update baru, update baru. Belum bisa dikerjain kemarin. Rencana aku itu ya sayang banget itu yang ulang tahun jadi gagal. Kalau mau rayain ulang tahun sekarang kan lucu. Masa udah lewat, malah sekarang baru di ini. Bentar. Kayaknya kayak sakitan. Ah, benar. Kayaknya jerit-jerit.
Snowflake was fell on my nose. Now flying backwards to last winter. I realize that
Enggak.
those are goodbyes.
Doain semoga Hayapi cepat sembuh. Saya udah baru jadi operasi ya. Semoga hari ini. Oh, di sini. Udah bisa segera sekolah semula. Berarti ini mungkin 1 bulan nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain. Hari ini aku main Genshin. Ini seharusnya kemarin ya. Aku belum sempat bikin taman apapun, jadi pakai taman lama. Ini kan tujuannya sebenarnya tanggal berapa sih? Kan pas Hiatus mulainya tanggal berapa? 13 ya. Terusnya tanggal 13. Sekarang tanggal 21. 8 hari. Lewat 8 hari.
Add Astra.
Oh, di saya bisa buka. Yang itu enggak. Untuk awal Hiatus. Awal pembukaan Hiatus. Ikutin rencana awal. Jadi nyelesain Archon Quest dulu. Oh iya, kemarin pas Hiatus nggak sengaja nih. Bukan nggak sengaja nih. Aku habisin Primo buat ngepul ODT, dapat 70 berapa ya? 75 kayaknya. 75 PT set off, lumayan lah. Dia dapat ODT. Tapi ini sekarang lagi nabung buat dapat senjatanya Arle. Kalau dapat, kalau nggak dapat ya udah. Untuk Gian, kemarin juga aku iseng-iseng berhasil akhirnya sampai virus. Yang di atas justru nggak pakai ini, nggak pakai stellar, pakai stellar kondak. Walaupun udah ada ODT, tapi travelernya belum dapat ini. Apa namanya? Belum dapat jatahnya. Jadi ODT-nya enggak. Jadi pakainya Scar, ternyata bisa tembus. Gampang masih pakai Arle. Tembus juga. Paling gampang yang tengah. Ini kayaknya kalau pakai Jin juga bisa sih. Untuk yang bawah pakai nopal. Bisa loh. Pakai nopal bisa. Pakai ini. Aiden juga bisa. Kuncinya sebenarnya di kombina sama ini ya. Di Neva. Kalau udah pas depan ya nggak tahu sih. Ini bisa ordernya jadi kelihatan kecil banget ya. Karakter baru kalau digigilin sama karakter lama itu jauh banget. karakter baru kan. Ya karakter lama jadi, yang karakter lama itu jadi kelihatan kayak gemuk-gemuk gitu. Bener-bener beda banget. Apaan skirt yang baru? Oh, gak usah jauh-jauh is. Columbina udah agak camping sih. Ah ini Durin bandingin sama ODT. Beda banget. Kalau karakter yang dulu kan palanya gede, badannya cungkring, terus proporsi tubuhnya juga nggak pas. Dan untuk karakter sekarang ini ODT bisa pas banget. Ini proporsinya itu mirip kayak Endfield, mirip kayak game baru lah. Endfield, Wuwa, NTE. Makanya beda banget sama karakter Genshin. Benar-benar improve sih. Dia coba sama ya. Bagus lah ada improve-nya. Katanya aku merasanya apa itu benar-benar sebenarnya filler. Atau bagian dari Snezhnaya lah.
Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. Honestly, she feels kind of bad for throwing a wrench in the works. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now.
Semakin cepat kamu pulih, semakin cepat kita bisa mulai bertualang.
You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Tsaritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that.
Ya, itulah tujuan utama kitab Snezhnaya.
Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Aloysia said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful.
Yap, ini salah satu ancaman yang harus kita hadapi.
To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Not word-on-the-street type of info. Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us. But...
Mereka semua anggota Fatui.
Right! And when we left Nagcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So... it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Tsaritsa's grand plan.
Hindi kita bisa dapetin info yang di rahasia.
Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Glupov place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But...
Kapitano aja, Kapitano.
We talk Arlecchino.
Kapitano ini,
Let
Dubin.
alone Sandrone.
Atau
She basically told us to
ini.
stay in her lane already.
Pero Cina kayaknya susah buat kita persuasi sih. Apalagi sa Andron. Ya, udah suruh kita nggak ikut campur urusan ini. Udah lama juga kita tidak bertemu Fatra di Tartaglia ya. Takbang. Bakalan ketemu tampang ya.
Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Not Cry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha.
Alyosa.
Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather.
Pasisyon ng mga preksa.
I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
That'll be
Apa
fine.
sih? Ini
Paimon's
dia atas
basically
Paimon
the
bakalan
same as a
tahu.
human.
Nggak usah jauh-jauh
Different
Paimon
when it
siapa
comes
is?
down to it, are we?
Tapi jenisnya apa? Masa nggak ada yang nanyain? Ini Paimon itu ras apa loh? Pandi na sumada yokai. Iliwe. Ada Adeptus. Terus di Sumeru. Sumeru mah rasis banget ya. Ada Forest Dweller sama Desert Dweller. Sama manusia sih, Pris. Sama manusia. Sama kulit putih, sama kulit hitam. Ada banyak juga kan. Yang bukan manusia kayak dari. Terus di Fontaine kebanyakan Oceanid sama Melusin. Pasis juga. Denatlan ayo malah suku-suku ya. Tapi kebanyakan manusia. Di Notray apa juga beragam. Apa malah unik. Anggotanya itu beda-beda. Dari negara yang berbeda-beda. Di stas saya itu banyak Fae. Tapi Paimon bukan Fae. Jadi Paimon itu apa? Perbedaan terbesarnya mungkin selera makan.
More like you don't eat enough. The more talking you do, the more you need to eat.
Tidak yakin dengan pemikiran itu.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over. But as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Ya, mari kita lihat perkembangannya beberapa hari ke depan.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
Dan begitu, aku tetap di sekitar sini saja.
All right then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me.
Makasih.
Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do.
Sedorel.
See you around.
Ay, Yugi, oh ya. Ada Sedorel. Ariyosa aku balik siya 2.
All right.
Ibut
Time
na
to
ya.
find Child and see what he can tell me.
Namanya mana? Namanya lagi tidur.
I'd better not disturb her while she's asleep.
Tidak ada Paimon. Coba cek. Kalau misalkan kita ke tempat lain, tanpa ada Paimon. Lakukan eksperimen. Ada! Paimonnya balik. Tapi kalau misalkan ke Snezhnaya, Paimonnya gak ada. Tapi Paimon itu cuma hilang kalau di Snezhnaya. Kalau negara lain, gak ngaruh. Ini istana Fatui. Halo.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit.
Para ada sayapnya. Iya, dapat ODT kemarin pas aku hiatus. Bosan kan? Gak bisa ngerjain voice.
Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply for the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued.
Oh, Rims. Tapi kami sudah saling kenal lama. Aku tahu mereka pasti ingin bertemu denganku.
Might I ask who you're hoping to visit?
Terbinger Chow. Apa dia?
Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time asking when I already know what the answer's gonna be.
Dan sebelumnya, aku berterima kasih pada semuanya yang udah ikut mendoakan Ayah.
Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If
Akhirnya
child is
Ayah
unavailable, you'll have to
hari
go
ini
through the
pulang.
proper procedure.
Telah dioperasi pas ulang tahun. Persis. Tanggal 19 di hari ulang tahun. Bukan yang ngerayain ulang tahun. Tapi justru malah seharian di ruang operasi. Tungguin Ayah.
Lord Child is a busy man.
Dan sebelumnya
He's
1
probably not
minggu
in Glupov at
nginep di
present.
rumah sakit.
If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point in waiting any longer.
Sepertinya waktunya yang kurang tepat.
Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended
Ya,
periods.
makasih, Dears.
Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us.
Banyak yang kacau ya. Kemarin pas waktunya lagi rame-ramenya Snezhnaya baru, aku lagi sama ngerjain. Baru bisa gantian sekarang. Nanti ada Sandrone.
Greetings, Lady Marionette.
Sandrone.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's his first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that he doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
Ada enak sih. Sekarang kalau cutscene. Kan cutscene ya. Kalau dialog.
No, Lady
Pakai
Marionette.
skinnya yang
No
baru.
incidents to report.
Yang dipakai. Teman sayangnya kalau pakai CGI. Every CGI.
That was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Hari ini sudah sangat membantu kok.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon?
Dia lagi istirahat di Potpourri restoran.
Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy.
Si Manda sadar ya.
I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need.
Ya sudah cari dokter kok. Kata dokter dia tidak ada yang serius. Dia cuma perlu istirahat beberapa hari.
All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems.
Kamu saja kesini khusus untuk menemuiku.
Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for
Menerima. Kalau marionette itu sendirinya terlalu banyak sendiri. Kalau misalkan itu lali, itu lebih banyak dirinya. Kamu sudah tebak kalau itu aku kan?
Well, I felt our time working together in Nod Cry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by example.
Okay.
On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there.
Suka nasatan. Lebih suka Snezhnograd. Tapi emang nasatan itu kayak
Your treat.
Otoroso kan ya? Apa begitu? Oh, aku yang terakhir?
Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why.
Hah? Kamu dari mana? Ini bisa masuk, Utep? Tidak boleh masuk. Ini boleh nggak? Nggak boleh. Masuknya lewat sini ya. Oh, ini bisa langsung sini.
I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm
Halo,
sure you trust
Sandrone.
my taste.
Modelnya masih nggak terlalu jomplang sih. Yang modelnya jombreng banget itu Dete. Gak masalah sih. Meskipun aku rasa kamu bakal pesan kebanyakan untuk dirimu sendiri.
Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia per se. You just want information, right?
Ya benar. Tapi bagaimana kabarnya sekarang? Akhir-akhir ini sibuk apa dia?
Wanna take a guess?
Dia cari gara-gara lagi?
Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know.
Udah Dewan?
That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vecha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project
Oh, iya,
Stuja.
itu salah nih.
It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vecha these days.
Kalau dia jadi anggota Dewan. Maaf. Sedikit sulit untuk dibayangkan. Dia tidak mirip orang yang suka duduk di balik meja.
Yeah, he's more of a shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan.
Para Kapitano ini ya. Kapitano pergi.
In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia.
Oh, anggotanya Kapitano. Tangannya Kapitano. Jadi anggotanya Tangpang.
I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded.
Apa na dia?
That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liu's situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime.
Oh, berarti emang sebenarnya Tatang itu yang kemarin bikin ulah ya. Jadi sebenarnya ya aku itu terbingung itu nggak jahat amat. Jadi yang saya crack itu ya cuma dokter. Terus karena dia kan karena bukan bikin ulah. Kalau Signora kan ya benci sama Venti gara-gara pacarnya kan. Terus di Liue juga dapat gnosis gampang banget. Makanya jadi besar kepala. Merasa semuanya bisa, makanya di Inazuma kalah mati. Dan untuk sekarang kalau Skaramus, ya itu pengaruhnya dokter. Sepertinya kemarin somprak sih.
Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind.
Ini antara ceritanya asli kayak gini, atau ini cara mereka benerin cerita. Karena beneran ceritanya itu kelihatan kayak beda banget antara ini ya, tiga legend awal. Legend awal sebenarnya ceritanya udah mulai bagus. Sebenarnya ceritanya bagus sih, terus. Cuma kayak nggak nyambung. Dan banyak yang bertolak belakang. Contohnya kayak di sini. Kita kan udah sering mencoba menggagalkan usahanya Fatui. Tapi diterima-terima aja. Biasa-biasa aja gitu. Saat di Sumeru itu lebih susah. Tidak semua apa lagi. Jadi buron kan. Terus di Fontaine baru masuk penjara. Di Yui juga awal-awal diburu sama
Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them.
Berarti ini yang saya bilang Tinggal Pulcinella sama Regrator. Pantalone. Dinala sama pantalone.
So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right?
Karena the Jester perlu menjadi seimbang kekuatan.
Exactly. Piero also needed to back a Harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice.
Wala niyo pinditit.
Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth.
Pantalone orang putra-kaya. Bading, bawa yan ng guwang.
I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time.
Tama pa ni. Sipa ako sa mga informasi orderly ni.
What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea?
Which one was it?
Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya Vecha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room.
Lagi? Model ini apa namanya? Sidang lagi. Dari Fontaine ada sidang. Terus di Polsted ada sidang. Nah ini juga ada sidang lagi.
Having a voice in the Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group.
Ini udah ada perkembangan loh.
Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers.
Jadi nggak ngomong doang. Kayak gini pas ngomong. Pantalone sama Tartaglia. Tunjukin gitu. Ini Pantalone. Ini Tartaglia.
Personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I
Terus
have to make
permainan
their voices
kamera
heard.
juga udah ada improve-nya. Ya lumayan lah. Ini Genshin emang perlu diakui. Sekarang udah ada
Then there's
improve.
Pulcinella,
Udah mau
the linchpin
improve.
of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
Gitu ya. Tapi kan dia menerima. Ya soalnya Sarisa kayaknya emang ini sih kepo banget. Yang di awal-awal itu harus dari Karya. Piero dari Kandia. Ururan berarti kan. Terus Kapitano juga dari Kandia. Urunan. Kalau dokter itu ada Mali. Karena itu aja. Marionette lagi. Columbina. Ya Columbina kan Dewi.
I'm
Gitu ya.
starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
Ini tuh Snezhnaya lagi. Arisa. Oh ya. Pengen ngelakuin Project Stusa. Tapi karena Project Stusa itu butuh energi banyak banget. Jadinya energi buat warganya itu kurang. Makanya warganya itu kayak agak menderita. Dan bukan cuma itu, dengan efek perburuan dosis juga bikin beberapa negara kacau balau. Satu-satunya negara yang diplomasinya itu paling aman itu ya konten ya. Konten gak ada pengaruhnya. Yang paling parah Sumeru. Sumeru sama Inazuma sih.
Alright, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine.
Ayo.
You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me?
Cemburu. Jadi banget. Cemburu. Oh, tidak lagi cemburu kan?
Huh? Jealous? As if.
Cemburu banget.
Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Not Cry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart?
Aku cuma ingin memastikan aku sudah jawab ucapan.
You... fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me.
Anda, kamu kan jangan. Sendiri doang sih. Sendirinya kelewatan.
Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Parang Bina yang paling naik dia.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Abot disuruh kerja. Jadi lah. Kapag kerja terus.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaitovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
Tim mana itu? Ada di tim
I guess
engineering ya.
that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer.
Bahasa Indonesianya ya. Menteri PUPR. Aku sudah berjanji sama Paimon. Sudah pergi jauh-jauh.
Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that?
Aku masih betul sedang di teh. Aku tidak bisa tinggal diam. Waktu orang lain dalam bahaya. Yang pertama aja.
Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help.
Alaman apa? Oh, baru di sini. Tentang kenalan. Tanya aja, aku masih bingung. Boleh, terima kasih. Aku ikut aja.
Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Pavoye restaurant. Find his room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Imam. Mana ini? Kok jauh? Postin. Untung beberapa telenya udah kebuka.
Snow in Snezhnaya is always bitterly cold, and it
Iya tuh.
they weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction.
Apa akan diselamatkan mereka?
Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
Oke. Ada uang berarti. Ini apa ini? Apa itu? Gak masuk aku. Bisa ngapain? Lihat ke bawah. Seperti sikut. Ada apa di bawah? Ada apa?
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further.
Apa ini? Oh, Dede.
It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now.
Aku bersama Sandrone.
Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnaya. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Odette. Temannya oh, di bacanya Odette. Odette kan boleh larang.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location.
Ya, Odette. Dah sampai kamu bikin aku menyesal. Udah. Kamu ya.
Let's go. Every second counts.
Biasanya karakter-karakter di awal region itu gak terlalu bagus. Karakter region mulai dari Inazuma. Inazuma itu berarti siapa? Yoimiya ya. Yoimiya juga kurang bagus. Sekarang udah Yoimiya malah bisa kena power aktif karakter sebelumnya. Alias ku tahu. Terus di ini di Sumeru dari
This
Andar
must be the monster's shadow.
di
Looks like
Fronten
a tough opponent.
ini. Bro, mana ya, bro?
Let's begin.
Udah kebiasaan. Pan. Pasti ketiga. Tiga. Terlalu. Odette itu paling nggak gitu. Kedua, kalau jatuhnya nggak terlalu butuh ya. Soalnya musuhnya Odette. Musuhnya Odette. Hanya Odette itu support.
Crystalline Adagio. Pirouette. Together.
Jadi apa? Ini masih pada legend ya? Oh, ke bawah. Benar-benar ke bawah.
I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move.
Kaso wala ka legend oh.
Let's begin.
Take this!
Dude.
Witness the snow swan's grace. Hadada.
Kaso mati. Ano ka legend last thing? Ang bilis sabihin ito.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out. He and I will stay behind to watch the rear.
Pero nga sila ni Basikan.
Thank you. Come on, let's go. This way.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat.
Patay ni sa kanya.
Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Di sini rin ka legend niya, malah. Unyo-unyo ya.
Wait.
Ay, kanila ka legend na sarap di mana.
There's something
Kinatalan.
unusual about it.
Enggak. Atau malah ka di luar. Oh. At apa nih? Masih dapat pedang? Tiba-tiba. Tada! Apa itu?
It's back?
Yes, it has family.
Kasih aku dapat pedangnya. Tapi saya dari story-nya kurang gitu.
This way.
Teman-teman kayak ginatlan itu yang atau dinotry pas lagi final. Kan dia bagus kan dapat senjata. Ini cuma lewat doang. Cuma mampir. Tiba-tiba dapat pedang. Ayo ujuk-ujuk.
Thanks. Let's get out of here.
Pakingiyo. Pakikarayo. Yay! Dapat pedang. Pakingnya Randy. Oh, nggak bisa ya? Harus selesaiin quest. Ih, belum apa-apa aja udah bagus sih. Apalagi karena udah double up. Ini kenaikin gimana? Di depan penuh senjata. Oh iya, harus pakai ini. Pink point ya. Harus start. Naik sendiri nggak bisa. Ada apa gitu? Manual. Selesai sih. Kalau nggak ada dari gimana? Iya dong. Terus tele. Desain yang buruk.
Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name.
Anak ko kecil. Pesuarang petualang.
Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
Revive! Welcome. Apa yang mau ke sini, Odette? Paman pertunjukan?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
Tunjukan?
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity.
Ballerina. Balad.
If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korailievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa.
Di Madonna niya.
On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady.
Si Flora. Parang sembuh total sih belum. Tapi alhamdulillah udah pulang. Operasinya berhasil.
She learned all her
Parang
combat
udah di
skills
rumah.
from Rosaline
Makanya
herself.
aku bisa live lagi.
Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
Berkat doa kalian semua juga.
You flatter me, Lady
Kemarin
Marionette.
dati 1 minggu lebih. Aku nginap di rumah sakit. Tidur di rumah sakit itu gak enak. Nyaman-nyamannya rumah sakit. Tetap gak nyaman.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
Ayo, gimana tuh nanti? Pada saja kamu sangat pandai bertarung.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Iyalah, bukan cuma gak tenang. Gak bisa juga kan? Pas live streaming di rumah sakit. Isinya di bawah rumah sakit gitu. Kan gak bisa.
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the
Jadi
equipment.
selama 1 minggu itu aku tidur
Took
di
me
rumah
a little
sakit.
longer
Ya enggak
without
sih?
Pomonia's help.
Kadang
But the
pulang buat
ultimate
nyuci
is the same, of
baju. Buat kasih makan hewan, kucing, burung, ayam.
Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, This equipment
Tapi
won't
kadang
get
juga
wet.
nginep. Kayak kemarin, pas lagi puasa, lagi habis operasi,
All right, now that we're done here,
Aku harus
it's time to
nginep,
get
kan?
out of this blizzard.
udah selesai. Apakah masih ada pekerjaan lain yang harus dilakukan di sini?
Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan.
Dan bukan
I
cuma
guess I'll have
left
to write
doang
the
ya.
incident report myself this
Aku juga
time.
berhenti
Since
kerja.
it involves a mechanical
Di satu
malfunction.
minggu gak kerja. Bolak-balik doang. Di rumah sakit. Terus pulang juga cuman bentar.
First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget. Then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan.
Ya,
Once they've argued it
perasaannya
out and
udah
reached a
jelas
compromise, we
lah.
can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how
sakit
smoothly
juga.
it goes.
Pas
Nothing we can do
beberapa
about it.
hari
There's
sebelum
a
di
whole
rumah
stack of
sakit.
incident reports like this back at the
Hari apa ya?
office.
Hari Senin atau hari Minggu. Tambah sakit. Ya, hari Senin ya. Hari Senin itu aku sakit. Soalnya kan seringnya pakai motor malam-malam. Aku nggak pernah keluar rumah. Kepalanya keluar malah dari rumah sakit ke rumah.
The snow has eased a
Pakai
little for
motor
now.
malam-malam.
There's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large.
Nah, angin malam ya masuk angin.
Fuel for heating is in short supply.
Teman-temannya tidur
And the relief
satu
is weeks
hari
away.
full.
There's no immediate
Itu
threat
hari
to
Senin
life.
aku bener-bener
But
kayak
still.
pingsan. Jadi tidur jam 8 malam. Bangunnya jam 5 pagi. Jam 8 malam, hari Minggu. Hari Minggu jam 8 tidur. Bangunnya jam 5 pagi, hari Selasa.
It just feels like there should be a better
Pingsan
way.
kayaknya. Atau hari full, lebih dari 24 jam. Sendirian di rumah, pingsan.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd.
Tapi langsung sembuh sih.
When did you get a new
Nah,
sword?
sebenarnya antibody
I found it in
manusia
the
itu
cave.
kan
It
What,
handles
yeah?
pretty nicely.
bisa ngobatin kita sendiri.
You have a strange affinity
Jadi
for
kalau kayak
secondhand
demam-demam
swords.
doang, bisa diobatin lah. Tapi kan ayah enggak. Ayah kan penyakit dalam. Dia emang harus operasi. Nggak bisa nggak bisa cuma istirahat. Oh, tambang.
Huh. Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real big shots put me through. Hey, comrade. It's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while.
Woohoo! Pertanyaan mo. Jadi pertama tantang. Karena ada Chino atau marionet. Tapi yang main malah marionet.
Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo Laidovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
Tapi sebenarnya aneh sih. Saya kayak serem banget pas awal-awal. Di sini malah kayak damai banget.
It went fine.
Tapi mencekam Natlan. Kalau di Natlan kan suasananya mencekam banget. Dari awal ya.
How about you?
Dari awal itu
Any new
berasa mencekam.
developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuja, and the usual rebuttals are
Natay
starting
juga.
to ring hollow.
Suasananya ribut kan? Kalau di sini kok kayak damai banget.
The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Di Fontaine kan awal-awal awak pala. Fontaine
Sorry,
cukup
I
mencekam.
have to ask something.
Yang
This is going to sound blunt,
ini,
but may I?
yang tentang mafia.
Huh?
Yang
Of
cewek-cewek
course,
pada
fire
mati.
away.
Matinya serem malah. Langsung jadi air.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to
Terus
figure out
efek-efek
how to
banjir
deal
juga
with
mencekam.
opposition to Project Stuja. But what exactly is this project's purpose?
Nah, semua juga
And how can it be
mencekam kan.
so important that even people like
Itu
you
semua-
two
itu semua
refuse to
kita
stand up
jadi
for the
ini.
ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Ayo setiap region awal-awal langsung mencekam deh. Apa? Coba cara di.
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to...
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from
Ayo dari
Menerima
desainnya
myself.
bagus.
Things aren't going so swell
Ini
there
nih.
either.
Bisa aja jombrang banget. Karakternya. Karakter awal-awal. Karakter malah tak terjadi dia. Yang 1.0 dibandingkan sama Odete. Odete kayak kecil banget. Beda jauh, jombrang, terlalu jombrang. Benar. Jadi ini berdampak langsung padamu. Makanya aku bertanya. Ya, emang bagus sih. Berarti ada improve. Tapi kalau dijejerin jadi kayak jombrang banget ya.
The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya. But she's thinking long term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuja seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know. But I promise it's not as black and white as it seems.
Terlalu politiknya di sini. Karakter baru itu proporsinya pas. Kalau karakter lama kan kepalanya gede, terus dadanya ada kecil. Ini kalau misalkan karakter pakai skin lama, kan kelihatan jombrang banget.
Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuja outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella.
Halo Enof! Welcome. Kayaknya sih nggak, walaupun di remake, mungkin dalam bentuk skin, kayak Yelan gitu. Jangan di remake kan, skinnya
I
jauh
respect
banget.
Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions.
Mungkin
But
nanti
at the end of the day,
bakalan jadi ada
I'm still just a
skin-skin
normal guy
baru.
who cares deeply about my homeland
Ya,
and
karakternya
my
ini.
family, who all live here.
nggak online ya, Dos? Nggak live? Ini baru tadi sore. Kayak pulang
There's
dari
no
rumah
way I
sakit.
would ever abandon them.
Gila kan ada ini. Ada skin yang premium. Gak mungkin aku meninggalkan mereka.
As contentious as things can get within the Vetcha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it.
Banyak karakter
Everyone
lama
wants to
yang
get through this period
kalau di
as quickly
event,
as possible.
kalau di story, pakainya skin, bukan pakai baju lama. Kayak Yela gitu kan. Lebih sering pakai skin.
The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present
Mungkin nanti
circumstances.
karakter lain juga
Most
bakalan
of the
dapat
time,
skin.
we're trying to decide on the
Dan
lesser of two
proporsinya
evils,
itu sama
which
kayak
obviously
karakter baru.
isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their heads in
Pero
the
yung
sand
paling
here.
ako sesalin
We're all
di
well aware of the way
yang
things
paling
are. We're just
disayangkan
doing our best to make it work.
di Genshin itu munculnya terlalu awal.
In fairness to Sandrone,
Harusnya
she
seperti itu
rushed to
nanti.
Svietlo
Nanti
Lidovka's
aja.
aid the moment she heard that people were
Biar
in
dia
danger.
lebih OP.
And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight,
Soalnya kalau
is
nanti
clearly
mungkin
doing his best to rise to the
di-buff
demands
ya.
of his new role as
Kayak
counselor.
karakter-karakter sekarang kan banyak yang di-buff. Kayak Brio, terus Senoma Seno, Haino. Maaf, mungkin pertanyaanku tadi agak lancang. Tapi aku tetap ingin tahu apa sebenarnya rencana Salisa.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster.
Ayo, balik kerja, Merum. Mungkin besok. Jadi mungkin nanti aku kerjanya. Kalau aku kerja ya. Sementara kalau nggak sempet.
To me,
Mungkin
that says a
Hiatus
lot.
berapa
If
hari
she thought
lagi.
Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of
Tapi
things,
kalau enggak ya.
why would she waste
Mungkin
her time on
lanjut.
something like
Paling
this?
nggak malam lah. Mungkin mulai besok. Live-nya agak malam. Ya, pasti berarti
Thanks.
jadwalnya.
I meant every word I
Bisa
said,
jam
though.
9,
I wasn't just
bisa
trying to
jam
placate
8,
you.
bisa
I've
jam
already done
10,
more than enough
atau pagi
diplomacy
juga
for one
bisa.
day.
I
Sampai
still think
jadwal
this adventurer raises a very
Jadi
important
kan aku
point.
kemarin 1 minggu gak kerja. 1 minggu gak kerja kan bukan berarti pekerjaannya hilang. Pekerjaan yang 1 minggu itu terus ini dikerjain buat minggu-minggu berikutnya.
Our two harbingers have made their positions very
Kalau
clear.
misalkan libur,
But there are
pekerjaannya
many
hilang
others
gak
in the
enak.
Vetcha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience.
Ya, aku juga sebenarnya masih nyari kerja. Itu kan aku kerja ini sekarang. Kerjanya cuma kayak kerja
I think it's a
sambilan
very
lah.
valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind,
Kerja sementara.
despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
Buat bayar. Kebanyakan karena kami sudah cukup. Saling mengharap sama lain.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much
Ayan,
if we
Afif.
didn't know you so well.
Aku saranin. Username kamu jangan pakai nama ini. Tak pakai email. Itu kamu tuh kayak ngedoxing sendiri. Takutnya nanti alamat email kamu dipakai orang.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Kalau orang tahu Instagram kamu selamat apa namanya? Nama kamu?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of
Ano
person
ba,
who goes
username
around busting open
asaw?
people's old wounds.
Atau apalah? Itu kamu jelas banget. Saya pakai alamat email. Apa namanya Rafif email 3511.
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Tara, dikasih tahu nggak ya? Kita yang termasuk penyebab pasalnya poin.
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right. I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Asa? Hindi mo pumatihan yun?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
it's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine.
Ini ko terlalu biasa banget. Kan bisa marah, sebel, aku apa gimana? Sedih, ya kelas. Sedihnya kelihatan. Tapi kayak gimana nih? Kamu ketemu sama pembunuh orang yang kamu hormati. Sekarang kamu punya guru. Guru ya? Terus guru kamu meninggal. Meninggalnya itu bukan meninggal alami, tapi meninggal karena orang lain. Dan orang ini yang menyebut, ya nggak usah jauh-jauh. Misalkan guru kamu itu meninggal kecelakaan, terus kamu ketemu sama orang yang nabrak guru kamu itu, dan biasa aja itu kan enggak.
Sorry, I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
Ya emang fatui sih. Tapi kan kayak enggak, kurangin aja. Kurang natural, kayak terlalu damai banget. Columbina juga. Columbina kan depan barat kan. Selama di Northray enggak bahas tentang Rosaline. Kalian juga. Kayak pada
I've
mengesampingkan
mentioned
gitu
this to
aja.
you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along.
Dapur.
Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it.
Ya. Dari Mariana itu bukan Odette ya. Columbina. Columbina sama Marionette. Pas di Winter Necklace tuh, itu kan Columbina kayak paling sedih. Dia sampai berbaring di ini kan, di peti matinya. Tapi pas Columbina ketemu kita, itu udah biasa banget. Terus pas kita nyebutin Fatui, jadi lupa kan?
Oh, by the way, where's
Pas
Paimon?
Erin.
It's not like her to
Terus
hide away.
Erin pindah lagi ke Jotore. Oh, tayo siya tuan kasi.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Ini sama aja kayak Sandro nih. Sama ini. Tauma.
Oh, right.
Kan?
Sorry to
Patuhi
hear
kan
that.
kayak
Poor thing.
mau menjajah.
Reminds me of when Tonya was little.
Mau
She really
menjajah
felt the cold
bahasanya
back
Lauma kan.
then. Used to get ill all the time.
Tapi sekarang udah biasa aja jadi temenan.
I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed.
Dibayarin.
She was so mature for her
Misalkan ini.
age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her,
Penjajain,
she'd greet them
Jose.
with a smile and would never complain.
Tahu saya itu temenan sama Bung Karno. Tapi kayak gitu.
I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too.
Kan aneh.
You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Ati.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind.
Jangan gini banget ya. Kalau habis lihat modelnya Odete, dapat siya kayak murah banget. Bajunya. Rambutnya cuma temporokan. Detailnya terlalu sedikit.
So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Iya kan? Dan tentang Fatui ini yang banyak kontrolnya.
Already?
Makanya aku
That
merasanya
was
itu
quick.
kayak ada penulisnya itu ganti. Aku mau ketemu dengannya lagi untuk menulis hal semuanya.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time.
Oh, begitu. Oke.
Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Baka mungkin kesalahan di awal mungkin ya.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
Oke, sampai ketemu ya. Nah, iya kan?
I guess
Ya
everyone's in
udah,
a
kita
difficult
berteman
position.
sama
But
Char
Tartaglia
dari
is right.
awal.
I have things to do. Things I want to do. And things I ought to do.
Ya baik juga nggak apa-apa.
To start
Tapi
with,
yang nggak
I should ask Alosha if he
kayak
knows any way
dicuci
to help
semua.
Svietlo Laidovka.
Ayo berubah total gitu. Tadi jadi berubah total. Apa kabar dengan kita yang selalu mencurigai Fatui? Ini pinjam senjatanya seperti dulu. Pinjam.
How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord.
Oh, ini
It's a
langsung
very
baanak ya.
faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the
Aktif
statue?
aja. Paling nggak di
But
belnya itu
all it
dihilangin.
does is vibrate,
Kena aja
even
serem
when I
kamu.
touch it.
Uchiha lagi. Lebih banyak Uchiha.
That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try. It worked. There really is something special about this sword.
Oh. Langsung naik ya?
I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful.
Banyak Uchiha. Aku jadi Tobirama aja ya. Dia bisa membasmi Uchiha.
I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. In the meantime, I'd better go find Alosha.
Ay. Akan tisna pause dulu. Kita buka dulu. Diapap dulu. Awas! Nanti matanya mana dicongkel sama Danzo. Lagi. Oh ini. Oh. Enak banget. Gak perlu pakai ini ya. Gak perlu pakai material. Iya, 3 frame doang. Gak perlu pakai material. Upnya juga gampang banget. Dapatnya juga gampang. Gak terlalu jauh dari kuis. Oh. Aku R3. Tapi kurang ini sih. Kurang immerse. Tiba-tiba aja dapat pedang bagus. Ya emang gampang, terlalu gampang. Terusnya ada sesuatu yang bikin kita punya ini. Ya kayak pas kita dapat kayak lo gitu. Ada kejadian keren kan, ada cutscene-nya. disayangkan itu pas ini di Hot Pry. Idol Traveler-nya nggak dapat lunar. Kalau Idol Traveler dapat lunar kan enak. Jadi berguna. Iya kan? Kalau di Wuwa kan ya dapat hadiah sih. Dapat elemennya juga terlalu epic. Gak cuma nyentuh patung, gak cuma pindah region langsung dapat ini. Dapat elemen, dapat atribut. Ini kemana? Hello, Fitra Adil. Welcome.
Right here, emerge. Shadow me.
Mana? Dia terbang ya? Tadi sendiri. Ada peti lagi. Dapat ada pulus. Oh, bisa jancur ya. Ya, jadi ini kan. Nggak dapet di. Ini apa? Oh iya.
I'll keep this close.
Iya, Pak Tapi. Oh, belum. Baru 50 belum. Ini naiknya gimana? Dari sini nggak bisa. Ini salah jalan deh. Dapat di sekitar mana mana petinya. Ada apa-apa? Oh ini.
Is this an answer?
Right here, emerge. Right now. Let's begin. Harida.
Oh.
Fighting frog! I'll keep this close.
DLC itu paling seru explore-nya. Bahkan dibandingkan Wuwa. Explore itu sebenarnya lebih seru Genshin. ini bisa dirusak? Oh, ada Paimonnya. Ada di Paimonnya sakit. Kemana sih? Di sana ya? Ada ini, Cok. Bahaya. Betul api. Oh iya, ada batu. Aku malah belum pernah main Persona sama sekali. Nah, ini sih. Tapi harus main dari awal. Apa nggak usah? Ini Final Fantasy nggak? Ini salah.
I'll keep this close.
Wah, nggak bisa. Oh, paham. Bukan. Ininya. Maksud aku bukan. Cara bermainnya ya. Bukan genrenya. Ada ini Final Fantasy kan? Final Fantasy 1 sama Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3. Gak ada yang nyambung. Nah, kalau Persona itu Persona 1, Persona 2, Persona 3 nyambung nggak? Oh alah. Kalau nyambung mah berarti harus jauh. Harus main dari awal. Kalau kayak Final Fantasy kan nggak nyambung. Nih, tiba-tiba apa? Istana. Aneh. Apa tiba-tiba? Aku cuma yang buka. Nggak mau ngejalanin kuis dulu. Alcorn Palace. Delicious. Ini terlalu lorbong ini. Tidak. Atas harta karun. Tales of Series juga beberapa nyambung kan? Tales Destiny 1 sama Tales Destiny 2 nyambung. Terus Symphonia nyambung sama Fantasia, nyambung sama Apastok. Jadi ya satu sama sini dua nyambung. Terseria sama Sestria nyambung. Serius. Veteran banyak banget. Walaupun nggak nyambung, tapi cukup nyambung kan? Kayak Gilgamesh. Walaupun namanya sama, tapi hampir mirip. Apa namanya orang satu? Final Fantasy yang nyambung itu kayak FF7 series. Itu banyak yang nyambung kan? Tapi antara 7 sama 8 nggak nyambung. Pas 9 juga nggak nyambung. MC beda. Tapi kalau misalkan ceritanya masih yang nyambung, tapi jadi bingung. Kayak misalkan pas ada Easter egg. Kalau ada Easter egg kan kita akan nyambung. Kayak si Koden kan nyambung semua. Dari segi ada 1, 2, 3. Si Koden kalau misalkan langsung main si Koden 3 bakalan bingung kan? Walaupun versinya beda. Walaupun MC Suikoden 2 tak nongol di Suikoden 3, tapi kan nyambung banget. Suikoden 1 udah banyak yang nyambung. Suikoden 4 sama 5 itu kan prequel. Justru malah kalau mau main Suikoden, baiknya yang 4 sama 5 dulu. Baru 1, 2, 3. Itu biasanya mana yang paling laku. Kayak FF7 udah berapa kali remake itu. Remaster, paling pertama remaster. Habis remaster terus remake. Dan judulnya benar-benar remake ya. F7 remake, F7 rebirth.
Hello there. How can I help?
Mencari Aliosa.
Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch him for you.
Dan penggemarnya pesona banyak ya. Kadang-kadang aku juga pengen main. jeleknya aku itu, Ti. Kalau mulai satu
It's
game,
a familiar story. I've had similar
bakalan
experiences.
dilanjutin
Although Snezhnaya don't deliberately
selesai.
delay or withhold relief,
Duluan.
those first few days of waiting for help are
Nggak bisa
always
berhenti.
the hardest.
At akunya di situ.
It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief
Dahil
can't be
banget
delivered in
game yang
time,
belum
what's
aku
the point of even
mainin.
calling it emergency relief?
Kamu udah didolok. Kamu udah aku download belum aku main
Not
contohnya.
necessarily. I
Aku
think
ada
there's a good
sih.
chance that Kresny Kristall
Itu
from
belum aku buka
Chateau
sama
will start
sekali.
flowing into the market.
Terus Palace series juga banyak.
When we resolve Stratomoros's energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates.
Yang belum selesai apa? Asal Simbolia belum selesai. Baru awal banget malah.
A huge backlog of Crystal is now
Asal
available to
Sistria
the townspeople.
belum
There's
selesai.
no way they can use it up at once.
Untuk FF Final Fantasy 12 aku belum selesai. Kamu udah selesai itu Final Fantasy 7 8, 9, 10.
A lot of them will probably stockpile
Pembelasan
it
online
and
ya?
slowly work their way through. Exactly. At the current
Pembelasan
prices,
belum.
selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a
Terus.
fortune.
Kalau BMBS 1 kayaknya udah semua sih. BMBS 2 itu 12.
Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
Terus game BC juga banyak.
1 second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford.
Ya, aku yang bayar.
No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides, you're already providing the train.
Parang pupu. Ano yang bisa dia sukarela?
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look.
Ayosnya lebih tinggi ya. Ini sebenarnya bukan Ayosnya lebih tinggi sih. Proporsi tubuhnya. Ayosnya kakinya pejabat. Bandingkan sama itu lah. Terus posisi pundaknya juga agak beda.
Let's see. Huh?
Ada.
Oh, Alosha and...
Ayosnya itu gambaran BNI. Saat pemerintahan mau bikin program yang gak jelas. Jadi rakyatnya harus bertahan hidup sendiri-sendiri. Halo.
Hello?
I didn't realize you two knew each other.
Kami pernah bekerja sama di Svetlo Depok, Kak.
Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Kami miskin siapa? Dia apa ini? Tuli.
Yes,
Apa mo na-
and we sometimes need extra
Sebenarnya mana
help.
kaya ya? Mana kaya? Kalau sumli, ya dia nyiptain Mora. Jadi nggak terlalu mikirin Mora. Tanggung.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Svietlolaidovka. So, what brings you here, Miss Odette? Looking for some new props?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Svietlolaidovka. It bothered me so much, I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do.
Bisa dibilang Ayasa itu gabungannya Lisa sama ini ya.
You too, I presume.
Siapa itu?
I suppose that's why you're here.
Siapa ya? Aduh, lupa.
I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Stuzha is all about.
Aduh, lupa. Padahal kemarin dinotray sering noon.
Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going along with it.
Benar.
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Siapa? Nggak dipakai sih.
Right.
Mana aku level
If things
70.
can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases like that.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuzha is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be more to the story.
What's on your mind?
Apa? Mangamun.
I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings.
Begitu. Oh iya, Dori. Ayo, Lisa itu gabungannya Lisa sama Dori.
So, what's your plan?
Campur-campur berarti ya. Lisa, Dori, sama yang ningkatin atas siapa? Tara.
Oh, we were gonna buy some crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea.
In that case,
let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses.
Pasti sendiri udah nggak harus teller kan?
The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Makasih atas bantuannya. Wajib di-up sih. Paling nggak level 70.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will
Ayaw
apply.
sa itu senjatanya pakai ini ya. Pakai the pets.
Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Crescent Crystal during Project Stuzha, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure.
Apa nobles? Nanti pinjam ini aja. Pinjam punyanya Mona. Antara Mona, ya kan sama. Dia energy recharge. Attack. Attack aja ya.
That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
Gak usah mikirin
This
kredit.
is my first time seeing you handle Fatui
Kan bukan
affairs,
Dimek.
Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my
Jadi
whole
kalau
life.
pakai ini Favo. Kalau pakai Favo berarti energy recharge, attack crit. Tapi aku udah ada Tiki kan dulu. Tiki lebih enak sih. Tiki Mino udah cukup bagus.
Anyway, I bet you've been
Emang
non-stop
itu kan?
today, am I right? Any idea how Paimon's doing?
Bagusnya itu di sini. Partinya bukan aku
What's
doang.
Who's Paimon?
Optionnya banyak. Aliosa bisa diganti Beidou. Bisa
His
diganti
travel buddy hasn't been feeling well.
Tiki.
She caught a cold right after they got to Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
Aku juga bisa pura-pura tidak melihatnya kan?
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in
Aku
Svetovo
nggak
Doka.
beracunan sih.
Plus,
All right then.
Jadi nggak
Let's go.
ambil karakter-karakter baru. Sampai Sarisa. Paling apa nanti butuhnya itu. Bye. Anakku nggak punya dia di PS1 sama
I
sekali.
still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished. A good sign, hopefully.
Asip. Siping-siping mah. Terserah sama siapa aja. Hari ini fokusnya di arah terlebih saja. Itu kok mesin? Hanya cukup. Kalau ini yang cukup mah, langsung dijemput. Masuk gede banget. Ya, kalau dia ngambil sampai Sarisa. Ada rumornya Sarisa butuh ini ya. Tapi itu Denrika. Berarti kan harus ambil Sarisa sama Denrika. Kalau nggak di skip, mana cukup. Ini udah tanya aslinya aku nggak mau
Hello.
ambil.
Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room. Can I help you?
What happened?
Apakah kamu orang yang kirim kata dia?
Oh, please, excuse me. Are you the traveler? Could I take a quick look at your adventurer handbook? Master Child said I should verify your identity.
Oh, pakihin mo ko. Diba?
Ah, it's really you.
It's
Sorry for the
alright.
inconvenience. We're under strict orders from Master Child to keep this room
Masih has to
well
be.
guarded. At the same time, we can't
Hiatus,
interfere with
Menerima.
Podvoye Restaurant's
Ito
business.
ninditir.
That would only seem all the more
Marmalo,
suspicious
unahan
and draw
na.
unwanted attention
Mayan
to
Endfield.
this room.
Nakikira yan, Genshin. Nasa kikira Endfield, ya.
Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes,
Ako cukup
of
kikir
course.
sih.
Rest assured,
Kalau di
you're in
antara
safe
Nemoya
hands.
yang lain, Genshin itu paling kikir.
I didn't expect such a high
Dan
standard
di
of
antara
protection.
tempat game gacha open world yang aku mainin, antara Wuwa, NTE, Endfield sama Genshin. Genshin itu terkikir kedua. Paling kikir ya, Endfield.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. We're not about to let anything go wrong. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Please, head inside.
Traveler! Alasha, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Yan, bata-fato yan saan bisa diandalkan. Tak bisa percaya dia kok. Di mana sama percaya?
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point.
Eh, mana keadaan mo?
Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. Seems like that doctor was right. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little chilly.
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that
Di,
flame inside an
akin
ice
di dalam
cube?
es.
Wait, is this real ice? How's it not melting? And how does the fire keep on
Ano yan yung Fatui? Pag-ingat ka 12 dari 11. Kalau Chan, pag-ingat nomor 11. Padahal sisanya cuma 5.
All keen observations. You're right. This is called core ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! Oh, it's like magic. Your name was Odette, right? How did you two meet again?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet?
Ako nila bisa menemukan informasi apapun daripada Harbinger.
No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip.
Ako nila nilidik yung organisasyon na kotini.
The Rokad, huh?
Pagkatang siya na mangubuhin mereka.
Let me think. Members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but I think there might be someone I can introduce you to.
Tama itu.
Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have...
Huh.
maybe some hot milk?
Paimon's in the mood for something warm.
Oh, yan batok.
Enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. Paimon wants to know everything that's happened today. It'll be kind of like tabletop troop. No reason why listening to a story can't be an adventure.
Timingnya pergi.
The boss is gonna...
Yung baru.
If there's anything you need, please let me know.
Cuma kayak pelajaran doang ya berarti ya. Gak ada masalah-masalah serius. Hindi akto. Pakaian judul di travel. Itu kurang berebut. Bukan sedih ya. Khawatir. Ya gimana sih? Namanya orang tua kan? Itu kan udah tua banget. Udah sepuh. Siapa sih? Ada nggak anak yang lihat orang tuanya?
Ah, you made it. I've got some tickets, and I managed to set something up with a
Cuman
workout.
anak ya. Anak orang tua ke anak.
It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? I doubt you've seen the Korolyevsky troupe on stage before.
Terima kasih sudah menyiapkan semuanya.
Pleasure. Here, this is the way in.
Oh, Dan. Kamu
Please
juga masih
present
tahu
yourself
kan
for a
rasanya?
routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
Taat dulu gitu. Taat ketinggalan waktu.
Is that guy with the Fatui? Looks like he's waiting for something.
Okay, all done.
Apa itu ya?
Thank you for your cooperation.
Peneliti.
Please proceed through to the
Peneliti.
theater.
What's up? Everything okay?
Sangat aman di sini seperti ini.
Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that security's tight.
Aku jangan sampai sih. Janganlah, belum siap.
Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace guard here. You saw him, right?
Valeri.
The guy right at the back. Strong, silent type. His name's Valeri. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here for one thing. To look for a guy named Mitya.
Mitya? Siapa itu?
Supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in at the office. The theater is one of his favorite places to hang out when he's playing hooky from work. But that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. The show's about to start.
Ayun na niya. After yan, parang dari situ. Pianista. Terus Festa. Mitya.
What do you think?
Sama
Pretty
Feleriti.
impressive, huh?
Mitya yang biru. Matini maya para pumada para eclipse.
Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like...
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa.
Aku itu sebenarnya cuma Sarisa sama Noi. Tanya beneran dong.
This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there.
Atay itu Vodyanitsa. Khusus follow Master Lazaro. Aku suratnya nanti katanya Mizuki aja. Mana? Aku di mana? Oh, salah. Stellar ini sebenarnya ini aja udah cukup sih. Yang artenya yang dibenerin. Demek pertama yang dari Yae. Yae-nya kan nanti aja satu. Nanti ke satu. Oh, Dede kayak gini aja. Pakai pedangnya skor.
Hey there. Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now. Come in.
Oh, it's you two.
Tidak menyangka bisa bertemu denganmu di sini.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
Ada katanya begitu.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner.
Ada isang lagi
I remember it
ini nih.
so clearly.
Konfodianista, Konfodianista itu berarti perangnya itu mirip banget sama Kokomi.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought him here to see the show. And when it finished, he was full of praise for Vodionitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
Sebenarnya aku nggak pengen sih. Soalnya karakter hidro kan banyak banget gunanya ya.
You work here.
Apalagi ini Vodionista.
You of all people ought to know that's against the
buat
rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Bisa bukan jadi store swear. Nggak usah pakai face nak. Pakai Mitsuki aja udah bagus. Bisa jadi ODT, Vodionista, terus Mitsuki, satunya lagi bisa Kiki, bisa juga ini, Sucrose.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you. And so do I.
Itu lagi.
You did the right thing in Sviatloladovka.
Kanina ako buto. Buat Sarisa. Tama ka Sarisa sama timnya.
We're good. Odette's out of
Kalau
earshot.
pengen naman, pengen
I'll lock the
semua
door.
nantinya. Apa?
Confidentiality, of course. The Rokad is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosia! Not out loud! Not with an outsider here.
Relax. I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The president's reply sent this morning. Wait, so he's been approved to join?
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokad. Unfortunately, Rokad intel is only available to members. But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. I've seen the way you work, your character, and your motives.
Takutnya, kasusnya Sarisa itu sama kayak ini, kayak Mafika. Kan Mafika baru bareng sama Citlali. Dan Mafika sama Citlali itu rilisnya satu patch bareng. Nah, kalau misalkan Sarisa beneran sama Dendrika, dan Sarisa sama Dendrika itu juga satu patch.
Everything about you
Pati
is
ka na,
perfectly in
butuh banyak
alignment with what
banget.
we're trying to achieve in the Rokat.
Butuh banyak primo.
So I figured I might as well cut to the chase. I wrote a letter to the president explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. His approval came very quickly. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Alin ang dapat?
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, I guess we don't need to worry about you blowing our cover. Still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just because Odette was here? Did you actually mean it?
Tidak serius. Masuk panengan mo.
Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Ni Sarisa itu nanti tembayan di mana? Kalian perangnya yang kaya Colombina. Udah diambil Odette.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown
Nanti
of how
ngomong
things
Sarisa
work.
itu antara ni
Like I
BS.
said, the Rokat is a covert organization, and we hide our
Atau kayak
identities.
ini ya.
Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of independence and secrecy.
Bisa jadi di BS. Bisa jadi sub di BS. Tapi lebih cocok jadi di BS.
Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong, no one else will be implicated.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. We have plenty of members who have yet to take any
Pakai
action.
teori slime. Nanti seharusnya Sarisa itu shielder.
In short, joining the Rokat in and of itself won't
ini,
place any
kayak-
restrictions on your activity in
kayak zombie.
Snezhnaya.
Pakai shield. Mungkin shielder.
There's a code of conduct you
Bisa
can read
jadi
if
sub
it interests
DPS.
you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
Semua Archon kan bisa jadi sub DPS ya. Andy.
I tried
DPS
reading it
bisa.
5 or 6 times. Never made it all
Awal-awal
the way
cuma jadi
through.
sub DPS.
Even the most lackluster
Di DPS
sections
kan
for
baru
more
sekarang.
interesting reading.
Terus Sumli benar-benar sub DPS. Support. Ini tidak masalah.
Great.
Hey,
Then
Dan.
I'll go grab an
Hey, Dan,
official
jangan
application form.
Kan bisa
Be
jadi
right
sub
back.
DPS. Baru jadi DPS kalau udah jadi 2. Ahida sub DPS. Kurina sub DPS. Pafika juga bisa jadi sub DPS. Walaupun lebih bagusan jadi DPS ya.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog you see. His name's Tagarin. And this one time, Alosha brought him backstage. Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit and fed him some treats. Then, the Rokat was out on a mission one day, and even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout.
Dan malam sa palik niya itu benar. Ada dahil staff. Dan sa release
Like
di Snezhnaya.
my job at the theater, for instance. I really needed
Berarti
to
harus
make ends
mengambil
meet.
themselves juga. Soalnya di sini itu target utama aku sebenarnya cuman Tarisa dan partinya.
By the way,
Manoy.
what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go
Makanya
okay with
hulaan
Chugunov?
ambil DPS dulu. Kalau belum tahu perannya Salisa gimana?
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait. No matter what I said, he kept dodging the question.
Tayo na nanti ada story. Perannya itu tinggi banget ya.
And then he started
contohnya di
complaining.
Fontaine.
He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate season
Violet.
stalls because he usually
Perannya
gets a
lebih
private
gede
box.
daripada Furina. Dan dinyatakan kan Violet naga kan.
What did he
Ternyata
Everyone
Violet
knows
sama
that if you
Furina
want a
itu
box
satu
seat,
tim.
You buy a ticket
Makanya
well in
bagus.
advance. But instead, he sends me a letter the day before the show when we're practically sold out. I had to juggle things around
Uniknya
just to
sekarang
get him a
Violet
half-decent seat.
timnya sama apa aja masih bisa.
Enough to share some
Justru
information.
malah Furina
But nope.
yang timnya ngegeser. Udah ke power trip jauh.
Yeah, meeting Chugunov in person has definitely been a disappointing experience. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chugunov was that older guy you were sitting
Iya,
next to today.
Archon saya.
I'm sure he didn't make a great first impression on you either.
Oh, parang gitu ya.
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his right. He always expects special treatment. Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, now he's acting like I've sold him short this time. Not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife and daughter to see the show once in a while? I've never seen them here, not even once.
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form. Go ahead and fill it out.
Oh. Namanya Pucil Jangan. Tonpai. Tekniler. Awas kecumlakan. Hotel via dinilai level. Tonpai. Kalau pada saya maunya. Oke. Aslinya manusia peri dodoko. Dola pil-pilpan. Apatun bersih. Primum. Sama-samaranya tes mimik si kena 12 Jabortis. Nah ini Lord of the Seven Calamity. Aku menentang proyek terus. Ini menantang penentang biasa. Aku itu keren. Untuk membari ini. Mama mencuri aku untuk coba. Gak ada yang lucu-lucu aja. Ini Primo, dia benar-benar. Ini Morphe aja udah benar. Ini jangan. Ini jangan. Ini jangan. Ini terlalu normal. Yang tiga aneh ya. Formula aneh-aneh aja. Ini paling aneh sih.
Looks like I'll need to make a few little tweaks here and there. But other than that, you're good to go. We'll hold on to this for you. All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, I can tell you. Chukhanov is the target of our current operation. Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant, which pretty much confirmed that their energy consumption is way beyond the legal limit. All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vetcha, so we can demand that they shut the plant down.
That way, the Kresny Crystal can be allocated to where it's needed most.
I was hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but he's too tight-lipped. We'll have to find another way. I'm meeting another regular theater-goer tonight, Mitya.
But Valeri's here too, and he's probably looking for Mitya, so he may end up being a no-show.
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri, or he wouldn't be showing up on time for every performance. Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence of the excessive energy consumption at the plant, we can accidentally let the information slip to him. The authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he starts raising questions about energy use at the Iskra manufacturing plant, there will be a proper investigation. Also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. So all we need is his cooperation.
Yeah,
so that's the other thing we're trying to figure out. Though I think we're far less likely to make any progress on that front. Still, I hear that Mitya is a bit of a chatterbox. So, who knows? Maybe if we catch him in the right mood, he'll let something slip.
Ang mirip sama ko, Komi, ah. Managdamon marinta. Pasukan na solusin, managdamon marinta. Ako meron juga dito.
What do you think? Sound like something worth your time?
Saja, apa ikut? Kalau Aliosa itu perannya sama kayak Toma.
Okay, in that case, you guys find a seat somewhere nearby. Pretend you're a couple of buddies there to eat, and keep your ears peeled for useful information. He's a huge fan, so I don't know how to start up on me. You need to be convincing. If he suspects anything at all, he might stop talking.
Sure. Don't worry. We'll make a believable pair of buddies.
Bisa kok. Santai aja.
Perfect. You've sold me already. Now, help me tidy this room up a bit before we head out.
Okay.
Benar kayak
What
Komi
needs
sih.
tidying?
Dari skillnya aja mirip kok Komi. Iya. Terus kasih hidro.
Everything.
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand
Ati
out.
Aliosa itu bisa
Let's sit here.
tukeran sama ini yang San.
Now, it's up to
Ano
Vodinitsa.
Timia?
Let's see how the conversation
Ano
goes.
ka Timia buto na iso? Takanya iyansan? Kalau buto niya stellar? Takanya aliosa? Kalau di ini juga di Imaginam Theater.
Mr. Metia, over here, over here.
Di Imaginam Theater, kalau misalkan ada pyro, tadi pakainya Yansan.
Sorry, I got a little held up
Kalau
on my way
misalkan
here.
mo gak ada
Now we have
pyro,
even less time than we planned.
pakainya ini. Pati wajib dibuit ya.
Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks, whatever you like. Let me see. According to my schedule, we still have 25 minutes left.
You're really pressed for time today, huh? I was imagining this would be a leisurely chat. If you'd prefer, we can always reschedule for another afternoon when you have more time.
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity for me. I'm not about to pass it up.
Istilahnya sekarang kelihatan banget sih. Kalau bintang 5 itu ideal banget.
I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance while it's here, who knows when the next one will come around?
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
Kalian dia kenapa ya? Kelihatannya seperti itu.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya is full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey and Paimon.
Kita akan membuat perjalanan menjadi lebih mudah.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the theater.
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It
Ayun juga
always
bagus.
seems fresh and new somehow.
Suaranya enak.
Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every performance, delivering it better each time.
Katakan nanti kita gimana? Tapi kalau dari leak-nya, dia itu di BS ya. Tadi di China berarti. Tadi di saya mau.
Thank you. I'm delighted to hear that. Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. That,
Yes, you got me in the
piece you sang
ski.
today, for example. Beneath the Frozen River? Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you really dig down into it, there's a certain level where you're surprised
Ini
by
yang
the
benar-benar
emergence
harus
of hope.
milih-milih sih. Kung dapat satu karakter, at harus skip. Tapos sampai 2 patch.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Kalau tiap
I didn't
patch,
expect you to pick up on
na
that.
bakalan dapat karakter yang
Actually,
diinginkan.
I only tried out that angle after talking with a composer. Still, Beneath the Frozen River wasn't on today's program.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh, well then. Let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so I switched it out at the last minute.
Oh, but,
Sorry, Mr. Mitya, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show started. You, Odette, and the others.
So, what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song.
You said what a funny.
Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
Pasangan lagi kencan. Gusto na sendiri-diri.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my research. So, whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace.
Halo, Nami! Welcome!
Odette's dance during the elegy of the snow-winged goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently.
Iya, udah ada improve-nya banyak banget. Dari animasinya, desain karakternya.
That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away.
Lebar ya. Jadi banyak dialog-dialog gak penting.
Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of
Terlalu
things, but I
dilebih-lebihkan.
still think it was productive.
Jadi terlalu banyak
By the time I
yating.
snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my
gimana ya?
singing at all?
Harus si soft life.
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself, or the fact that I missed your performance.
May beberapa
Seems like things are getting a
berapa
little
dialog itu
awkward.
bisa lebih disingkat. Mau kelihatan gugup. Ada apa?
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance. This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's already falling apart.
If she too, Bert.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way.
Improve
It
iyan,
shows that our
saya.
performance really
Gede sih.
touches people's hearts,
Improve
right?
sebenarnya mulai ini ya. Mulai di Outcry itu kelihatan improve. Tapi pas di saya itu jomplang banget.
Don't let it bother you.
Improve-nya ada dia
It
banget.
certainly doesn't bother me.
Tandanya ada improve lah. Tinggal artifak lotor.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Enfield yang game baru aja udah ada. Oh ada.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time
Sini
today.
tuh gue yang gak mau
I'm usually all
banget.
ears.
Rilis artifak lotor.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion.
Padahal kalau ada artifak lotor itu sangat berguna banget. Contohnya kayak ini. Tadi aku pas ngomong, Yansan bisa tukar-tukaran sama ini.
I'm sure some
Sama
people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face.
Alyosa.
But not me. No, sir.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of
Sama-sama
bad
pakai
though.
nobles. Sama-sama butuh attack. Sama energy agent.
But you know what I really
Misalkan
can't
ada artifak
stand?
lotot.
People who only show up to the
Kanila.
theater to pretend
Tidak
that they're
tukar-tukaran
cultured.
langsung.
Makes me sick to my
Ya tadi
stomach.
juga sama. Sama-sama pakai pole arm.
Oh yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people
Terus,
around. By the time they're walking out the door,
Satu yang
they've
pakai
forgotten all about
lunar.
the show.
Udah mirip banget kan?
What's wrong? You look furious.
Kayak ini juga yang BOL.
I don't know if you've heard about the
Sama
boss of
Orin.
the Eastborough manufacturing
mirip.
plant. He isn't even a theater investor.
Artifaknya.
He always demands the same privileges as actual investors. Box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Terlihat sila tindak awal. Juga artifaknya mirip.
Well played, Vodyanitsa.
Thank you sama
Seems
si
like
Angli
she's
kan mirip.
harnessing her rage to steer the conversation back on track.
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone holds him up as an example of a benevolent businessman, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage.
Untuk desain,
Social status.
bisa mengharap aku masih paling suka konten. Halo, Snezhnaya. Entah kenapa karakternya itu terlalu template.
I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories.
Karakternya emang udah ada improve banyak,
capitalist.
tapi desain bajunya itu terlalu template. Jadi mirip sama karakter-karakter sebelumnya.
Oh, really?
Justru malah yang desainnya unik-unik adalah Nathan. Nathan itu desainnya unik-unik semua.
Yep, the things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if that's not bad enough, he also strictly forbids his employees from giving any kind of interview.
Film skinnya jelek. Disuruh film. Malah lebih bagus dampaknya skin.
Project Stuja has now been extended so many times.
Bikin jelek sama film. Itu kakinya. Kakinya bisa tepeng banget. Kecil.
Just to boost his own profits.
Di bawahnya jadi hilang.
If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Yelan kan, skinnya malah berubah total.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too.
Nathan tuh ya, aku suka-suka aja. Cuma penerapannya aja yang kurang.
So it's really true?
Yang paling kurang itu sebenarnya di Mafika ya. Kan di Mafika, di kasir dia nggak pernah pakai motor. Mafika pakai motor itu cuma pas kabur.
But there's no smoke without
Pas
fire.
kabur dari ini kan, dari apanya namanya?
The rooster's been coming down on us hard
Enak
lately,
sih.
demanding that we track and trace every single batch of crystal.
Pokoknya yang dunia
My coworkers in the
pematian
Department
itu,
of Energy have been tearing their hair out over it.
cuma kabur dari situ doang pakai motor. Di kaskinnya metalnya itu nggak pernah pakai motor, tapi pakai tinju, pakai pedang. Tapi gambarnya malah pakai motor terus.
The rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
Dan bajunya juga nggak cocok sama Nathan.
Yeah, even though there are no
Itu
restrictions on
sebenarnya aku
crystal
suka sih.
trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the
Ini
rich buy as
bagus.
much as they want.
Kayak bajunya itu
That's
kayak
clearly
ini,
unfair.
kayak pendaki. Di online malah paling bagus kan.
Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible.
Iya, terlalu maksain sih. Sebenarnya pakai motor nggak masalah. Tapi seharusnya itu jangan fokus di motor. Motornya itu buat
You really have a heart for the common person.
ini aja, explore. Kayak ini loh. Kayak Lecino. Sayapnya kan buat explore.
Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Ya kayak ini. Citlali. Citlali kan terbangnya cuma buat explore.
Those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay
Jadi nggak
attention to
terlalu
any
fokus.
significant upheaval. Isn't the rooster a Fae himself?
Coba kalau misalkan skill-skill yang dikaskin
I'm just surprised to learn that
dijadiin
even
skillingnya
someone with as
Mafika.
much experience as
Mungkin
him
lebih
is
keren.
getting so stressed out over
Kayak
Project
tinju
Stuja.
buat
What
hancurin
is
langit.
the end goal of this project anyway?
Atau skill-skill yang buat ngelawan ini. Yang lawan Capitano. Yang adu Jotos. Itu kan keren.
This is it. We're finally going there.
Tapi jangan salah. ditanyakan kalau misalkan sama Nisenoyo. Terus saya itu dingin, tapi cewek-ceweknya bajunya itu terbuka. Apa
I'm
nggak
sure
dingin
Mitya
itu?
can sense on some level that she's
Itu
fishing
yang
for
cowok-cowok aja,
information.
Pak Dek.
But since their
Bajunya
conversation
tebal-tebal.
is so relaxed, he might just let something slip.
Ayo, Sa. Tak, itu sampai tebal banget. Ini Mitya juga pakai jubah kan?
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research, things wouldn't have dragged on this long.
Orang kita aja di Indonesia, kalau pagi-pagi, kalau kakinya kebuka aja, langsung dingin banget kan? Nah itu di daerah salju.
So
Dan
your
kita
work
kalau
is related
berjalan,
to Project Stuja?
langsung bisa beku.
That's right. The
Dan
Armory Palace
mereka
needs a brand new
bajunya itu
energy source,
terbuka.
not the power of
Apa
the
nggak
light realm
dingin
and
itu?
not elemental energy. Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins.
Nah itu sebenarnya dari kemarin itu yang aku kritik ya desainnya.
But harnessing that
Itu
power is
terlalu
costly. Each step of the process
Ini,
requires
apa namanya?
enormous amounts of Kresnik
Template.
crystal, from extraction to
Jadi
quantification to
dada
intensive
atas
conversion.
terbuka. Pundaknya kelihatan. Pakai rok mini. Dan hampir semua karakter Hoyo. Bukan Genshin doang ya.
Progress
ASN
has been
juga.
painful slow, and the team is getting
Terus-
burned out as time goes by.
ASN juga
Sometimes
beberapa.
I see people
Udah
staring
mulai
into
kayak gitu.
space as if in a trance.
Template semua. Baju yang saya pasti gitu. Cuman lain warna aja.
Could it be that this new energy source
Makanya
has
aku lebih
side
suka
effects?
di Natlam. Ya karena desainnya unik-unik malah. Sama fonten juga lumayan unik. Alicino jadi unik banget kan?
No, it doesn't affect us because the energy is used for.
Tidak beda loh. Alicino, Furina, Corin, Navia, Violet, Brio.
Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. Sorry, I can't talk about that. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long, with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder people are struggling to
Terbuka
stay
dan
motivated.
contohnya kayak gini. Kiraran kan terbuka banget kan? Tapi ada template. Nggak sama kayak karakter yang lain loh.
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at you for not paying attention during the show.
Padahal itu sambil sama semua loh. Kayak gini. Ini misah. Antara lengan sama baju itu misah. Terus roknya itu nggak panjang. Ini bagian pundak pasti kelihatan. Dan hampir semua karakter kayak gitu. Apa nggak bosen?
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my current position. At least I don't have to shoulder any major
Itu
responsibilities.
bajunya bagus-bagus.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy.
Sayang sekali kita tidak sempat mendengar lebih banyak.
Censored by a scarf.
Ini ya saya premium skin. Itu kan bagus-bagus. Terbuka nggak apa-apa. Tapi paling nggak itu beda loh. Jangan terlalu template.
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm afraid I have to leave.
Oh, bisa bandingin baju-baju premiumnya Meliasta sama baju karakter yang baru-baru.
so
Desain
sorry.
karakter yang
We ended
baru-baru.
up barely talking about the
Justru
theater.
malah bagusan yang melias, tak?
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time.
Antara itu ataukah
Yeah,
mereka itu
hopefully once the work
biar
pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the
Puaskin.
performance, and then we'll have more to discuss.
Jadi nanti kalau kadang Pak player pengen bajunya beda, harus beli skin. Antara itu sih,
We
kayaknya aku malah
touched on
curiganya
some
yang itu.
confidential issues today. I'd
Jadi
be
kayak
grateful
Mias
if you
kan
could keep
fokus
it
di bukan di
between us.
baju kan. Jadi mungkin karakter-karakter ya kayak Yelan. Ya kan banyak yang dikritik rambutnya. Akhirnya kan ada skin. Aku kan.
That
Oh,
could have
seru.
gone worse.
Alhamdulillah hari ini baru pulang. Tadi sore.
Nice
Baru aja
job.
pulang.
Why was Mitya in such a hurry to leave, though?
Karena lagi istirahat. Kemarin baru ini kan selesai operasi. Ya aku curiganya kayak gitu Anami.
Sorry, routine
Jadi
inspection.
Yoyo ini sengaja bikin karakternya itu template. Bajunya template semua, jadi nanti mereka rilis skin yang lebih bagus. Jadi biar skinnya itu laku. Coba nanti. Oh, aku juga suka Capitano. Capitano dan stuff.
Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that
Ayan,
Valeria would
bajunya
find him here in
Skara.
exactly
Aku
25
juga malah lebih
minutes.
suka
That's
Skara versi Fatui.
accurate.
Oh iya, beberapa karakter yang aku suka desain lama ya. Itu Skara versi Fatui. Itu lebih bagus. Terus Marionette. Androne juga yang versi Fatui lebih bagus. Ya, makasih ya, seru lah. Tim Korea jahat banget.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
Hello. Kedengarannya seperti musuh bebuyutan Mitya tuh.
All right, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Did he deliberately? Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. I guess that's the next thing to look into. Vodyanitsa and Alosha have left. Time to head back and call it a day.
Mana? Hah? Ada kan bisa nih kan? Mereka bisa buat desain karakter kayak gini. Skinnya ini kan beda. Nggak terlalu ini. Nggak terlalu template. antara karakter kebanyakan itu template tuh. Jadi pasti tambah segini, ini kebuka. Terus ini misah sama baju. Topnya juga segini. Aku nggak jadi ambil sandalnya sih. Tapi sandalnya yang desain sekarang. Oh.
You're back! You're pretty early today. Paimon was just
Sandalnya yang desain sekarang itu tahu template.
After she woke up today,
Justru yang sandalnya
like her temperature was completely
desain yang
back to
sebelumnya
normal.
itu nggak template.
But her strength still hasn't returned.
Oh, ini suaranya burung. Oh enggak double. Ini aku dapat ODT di PT75.
Still, there's some good news.
Sama ini Hiatus.
Paimon thinks she might have
Nggak
figured
bisa
out the source of the
online oh ya.
problem.
Nggak bisa main lama. Oh, di rumah sakit. Nginep di rumah sakit kan ya. Jadi ya iseng-isengnya cuma nge-pull.
It's like there's
dapat 10 DT. Tapi dibikin 75.
Paimon, she only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
Ada sejenis kekuatan misterius. Katamu.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Could that have something to do with this?
What is it? You're making that face again. You know, the one you get whenever you have a light bulb moment?
Biar ku ceritakan apa yang kutemukan hari ini.
So, they're trying to develop a new energy source here? And you think that might be why Paimon's feeling unwell?
Yeah.
Well, Media denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, he did say that people working on the project have been having issues with their concentration and short-term memory. And even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's.
Jadi yang kamu bilang tadi bisa terasa dari merasalnya.
It's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But if anything, it seems like it's coming from roughly the same direction as the Armory Palace.
Berarti kita memang harus cari tahu tujuan penelitian mereka.
Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how though? The robot only has a limited amount of intel.
Oh iya, Rafif. Monggo. Selamat tidur. Makasih udah nemenin dari tadi. Udah jam 11 ya. Nah, aku mau nyelesain dulu. Masih ada satu tempat yang belum kita coba. Testa Workspace.
Oh, great point. They argue about Project Stuja every day. If we could sit in on one of their sessions, we might pick up some new leads.
Baiklah. Aku perlu menulis surat untuk Aliasa.
Good idea. Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried all the yummiest looking desserts in the Potforia restaurant. This one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved some for you. Come try.
Ya, makasih Rafif. Apa ini? Oh, yun naman di hari ya. Ulang tahun siapa? Alicino! Alicino ulang tahun! Oh iya. Kalau ulang tahun kan, ini bisa buka ya? Aku udah buka. Harus uwi jam 8.
Alosha replied. He says that we won't be able to speak at the Vetcha, but he can arrange... Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnaya Vetcha.
Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What a surprise meeting you here. Will you be sitting in on a session of the Vetcha?
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
Iya, ngayon dapat ulang tahun. Tapi ulang tahunnya nggak bisa dirayain. Ulang tahun malah di ruangan operasi. Di kamar di ruang operasi. Berjam-jam. Nungguin ayah di operasi. Tahun ini ulang tahun yang sangat berkesan sih.
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For detailed statistics, I would refer you to the industry reports that have been distributed to all persons present. It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon associated with a remotely located monster. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
Damay saja di sini.
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Orang-orang tidak melihat manfaat data yang bertambah langsung pada hidup mereka. Kayak suatu negara ya. Ada proyek yang tidak berdampak, tampilannya berguna, tapi nggak ada orang yang butuh. Gak ada dampaknya.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up.
Selama ingin bertanya, kenapa kamu masih di sini? Dan kenapa kamu bersikap akal sekali? Nova.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Best-selling newspaper in town.
Nova. Saya Nova.
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss, we will then proceed to a vote on this motion.
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably. But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we will soon face immense public backlash.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuja cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regrader struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support?
Yan po, sa regulator mayor sa kapal. Menurut po, gitu apa hal yang memang perlu dibahas.
The people have spoken. Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrader onto his back foot with a relentless barrage of questions. It had to be seen to be believed.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
Yeah.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue. So surely, their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation, which I believe is what Mr. Tartaglia also seeks. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuja is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning, and give clear indications that a distribution framework is improving with each iteration. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelex still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions. As for Lilik, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Well, more like infamous. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are all that matter. So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelek's methods? Are you for or against?
Paham sudut pandangnya sih. Bila seperti bilang, tidak ada cerita lain. Oh, sekali aja.
Well, whatever the story is, his actions benefit us all. We stand with Lelek.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of Crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it. Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's not present.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate time.
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Svietlo Laidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot of insights.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine Crystal quotas? In the long term, it seems like a very risky solution.
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vetcha in the company of a dashing young man. The question on all our minds is, what is the true nature of their relationship?
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Ano nanya kayak gini? Yang bikin bosenin.
Now then, if there are no...
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuzha total 61%, securing a clear majority.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelik is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this.
Chuganov. I see. Lelik strikes again.
Yes. Go, Lelik. Once Project Stuzha is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make our comeback. I can taste our victory already!
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuzha will remain in effect until the next Vetcha period. Finally, may I remind us all, we debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra always stand firm. The session is concluded.
Tidaknya bosenin. Kayak pidatonya Prabu.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chuganov to vote against Project Stuzha.
Apa? Mayana.
Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it. As we heard, Project Stuzha is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from somewhere. So logically, the factories would have to take the hit. I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before issuing a penalty. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vetcha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far.
Apa paham? Jadi pilihannya cuma antara mengurangi produksi atau berhenti total.
Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was completely unfair. Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuzha. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the factories would suddenly have more limited energy to work with. But now, he's already voted against it, which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote, just like with everyone else who flipped.
Maksud mo, Lilac?
Yeah, no one knows why Lilac is so obsessed with ending Project Stuzha, but by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lelik must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuzha. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
All right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha.
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg and all that. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me I'm wrong.
Ay, pendapat informasi yang menarik.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, it'll be doing Pulcinella a favor. In return, it seems fair to let him in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child, sir.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But neither the letters nor the crime scenes ever yield any clues to his identity. So all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected. They don't give us a lot to go on.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter-surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously. Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever happened so far, but the thought is enough to scare these people sleepless. It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time, so they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, no one's found anything yet. Careful. Don't underestimate me. Although, truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover. Direct confrontation is more my style.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just, there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have the ability, but few would have the motive.
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with a little weaker than me.
Tidak sekuat aku. Kalau fiturnya begitu pelakunya tidak akan pernah ketemu.
Oh, you hit me right where it hurts. I'll admit, he's strong and meticulous. But can we at least limit this to candidates who have something to do with Snezhnaya?
He's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing.
Gimana kalau pakai ODT sebagai referensi?
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are solid, and she's always calm under pressure.
Except she's Fatui. so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low. But yeah, much more accurate than your previous example, at least.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean? Which assumption?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be precisely what she needs to conceal her identity.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when, so she could choose the perfect time to act. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Stuzha?
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Unfortunately, she isn't back yet. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. So I suppose there were at least no lifelong regrets left behind. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But I do know that Odette definitely has a motive to hold a grudge against Project Stuzha. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project. That was back before it had been named Project Stuzha, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
Huh. The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close. We had tea together a few times, but that was about it.
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a Fatus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. They could barely make ends meet. Per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated and provided with adequate assistance. So, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family's livelihood. In the end, the solution they agreed upon was to have Odette join the Fatui.
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. In that sense, joining up was definitely the better option. Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui.
It's just a theory, a possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lelik, it holds up. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now, or what her conflict with Rosaline was about. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of trying to figure it all out. Yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lelik. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, we've got nothing to lose by trying a new angle. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Unfortunately, thanks to this Lelik situation, I'll be stuck working overtime again. Which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's family for generations, though it hasn't been performed in years. But Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage. Excitement is through the roof. Tickets for the official performance sold out long ago.
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister, I had to figure something out.
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty straightforward. The lead character follows a trail of clues left behind by a spirit, gradually recovering her memories along the way. It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, at least by today's standards. But when that classic melody kicks in and the lead character begins to dance, it always gets me. It really is beautiful. Not an easy dance to do justice to, though. I know it's always been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
In that case, I think that even if she is Lelik, we should wait until her performance is over before we respond. I'll let you take it from here, comrade.
Gimana selesai ya?
You made a ton of progress today. It's good that everything's going so smoothly. Next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer from Odette.
Memang dia belum tentu dia mau aku.
Either way, Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty extreme things, but Paimon bet she has her reasons. Maybe this is going too far, but like, with everything she's managed to do so far, wouldn't it make more sense in theory to be even more, you know, heavy-handed? Why leave a letter when she could, well, we know there are plenty of other ways to keep people in line, right? The point is, she could have gone further, but she didn't. So, if it is her, she's got some principles at
Ini
least.
baru selesai, bukannya malah belum selesai ya? Tadi ini Act 1 sama Act 2 itu masih nyambung.
All you can do
Belum ada
is
konklusi.
follow the facts wherever they lead.
Bagaimana kondisimu hari ini?
No change, really. But that thing Paimon told you about yesterday? Paimon feels like she can sense it more clearly now. Hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch for an adventure. If only she could be there with you so we could experience it all together.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind. Paimon will behave herself and keep resting.
If Odette is Lelik, she may well have inside information on Project Stuja. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. Now, she's dedicated herself to bringing it to an end. It's hard to imagine she could have gotten this far without knowing anything at all about the Tsaritsa's true intentions. When she spoke to us as a member of the Fatui, how much did she let on? And how much was she hiding? Only time will tell. Maybe tomorrow, everything will be answered.
Hey look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead. Make sure you wrap up warm tomorrow.
Hey, selesai! Temannya masih tidur. Lagi aja yang bagian 2. Masih jauh kan? Wih, sampai masih 31 hari. Masih lama. Diselesain part 2 juga bisa.
Well, if that's all, I'm going to go rehearse.
Imet dulu, Chan Imet. Ini ganti Kiki.
I will bring my notebook.
Right here, right now, together.
Life goes on.
And cake! Condense!
Right here, emerge. Right
You
now.
need to get.
Shadow me, pirouette.
Rise.
Cryostorm! Fighting frog!
Show them, emerge. Right here.
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
Tuh sampai 100.000.
Right now, right here, right now.
Aku apa ya?
Right here, right now. Emerge.
Let's begin. Harida. Wheel of life. Opening box of Adepti tricks.
Right here, emerge. Right now.
Life goes on.
Ay, sudah nggak bisa 80.000.
Fighting frost!
Right here, right now. Together. Pirouette. Waltz of the snowflakes.
Tambuhan apa ya? Gak tahu dah. Ada Arto. Artinya dikit doang yang beda. Ini harus tiap ya. Ini kurang. Ini juga kurang. Coba.
Right here. Emerge. Right now.
Wheel of life.
Right here. Let's begin. Potted duck.
Life goes on.
Cryo storm! Fighting frost!
Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Shadow me. Pirouette.
Wheel of life. Sacred name. Fortune preserver.
Condense!
Right now. Potted duck.
Life goes on.
Cryo storm! Fighting frost!
Right here. Right now. Let's begin.
Orders given. Orders received.
Encase!
Emerge. Right here. Right now. Shadow me.
Life goes on.
Right here. Right now. Emerge.
Bisa sih? Kurang apa aja ini?
A dash of frost. You two. Time to end. Surge. Power. Shower me with praise. Off to the freezer. Mine to wield.
Tenangnya terbang.
Strike a pop. A little move. Keep lolling. Eat Papa. Get him. Sword.
Wasn't expecting this. Power.
Malah mati.
Off to the freezer. Fulfill our pact. You two. Time to end. Annihilate. Power. Strike a pop. A dash of broth. Get to work. A burst of flavor. Time to shine. Suffer the wrath of Eve! Surge! A little amusement, show no mercy! Eat lolling, eat Papa, get him! Let my name echo in song! Pinnacle of excellence! Extinguish!
Tenang mulu sih.
Off to the freezer. Fulfill our pact. Suffer the wrath of Eve. Let the world collide. A burst of flavor. Sword. Power. Strike a pop! A dash of frost and show no mercy! Eat lolling! Eat Papa! Get him! Annihilate! Power!
Telat.
Off to the freezer! Get to work! Suffer the wrath of Eveling! Mine to wield. Show no mercy! Pinnacle of excellence! Time to shine! Eat lolling! Eat Papa! Sword! Mine to wield. A dash of frosting! Get to work! Deuce on the loose! Let my name echo in song! Suffer the wrath of evil!
Tenang mulu.
Off to the freezer! Fulfill our pact! You two! Time to end them! Time to shine! A burst of flavor! Power! Strike a pop! A little amuse, get to work! Eat lolling, eat Papa, get him! Extinguish!
Panahannya aku. Ya, udahlah. Malah kuat. Nanti katil dulu aja. Makasih buat yang udah mampir, yang udah nonton. Live dadakan setelah hiatus. Besok aku nggak bisa janji. Kalau sempat ya live, kalau enggak ya udah. Tapi mulai minggu depan kayaknya jadwalnya bakalan teratur. Dan ini aku masih utang ya. Masih utang PS1 Retro Gaming. Special streamingnya belum dimulai. Makasih semuanya. Sampai jumpa. Dadah.